Future prophet tell them we locks get longer. He they not it on it. Brass radio, you don't know. Pop the good music. Play.
Yeah, you know, Rasta live. The universal sign of love. Love is the answer, my friend, and love is the only way. Yeah, true love we can find ourselves. I call her true identity, you know. Love your brother, love your sister, love one another, the universal sign. I take it from here.
Love is much more to life than just words. Love is much more than to say you love. Love is call on me, brother. Love is call on me, sister. When you love someone, love from the heart, 'cause love is the start, yeah. Love is the answer for every question. Just ask yourself why. Love is the key. Open the door when they're closing your face. Love shows you the way when you are lost and can't find your way. Love is much more to life than just words. Love is much more than to say you love. Love is call on me, brother. Love is call on me, sister. Love is the only thing we have to share. Don't you forget that. I hope you hear. Send them a message to you out there. I hope you get it clear, yeah. Do not mistake my unmistakable sound. Whenever you see my face, always a smile on the rocks and frown. Love is much more to life than just words. Love is much more than to say you love. Love is call on me, brother. Love is you better call on me, sister. Oh yeah. No. Love is much more to life. Love is.
Hello, this is Sista Moorino in the house again. Sorry, I'm here with Brother Bless again. So welcome. I just want to start as we mean to go on. I just want to give praise to the Most High, and so that He can bless what we're about to speak about today. And as Brother Bless, are you going to say anything, Brother Bless?
I'm here.
Okay, well, Brother Bless is here.
I'm here. I'm just saying your thing.
So basically, we are here today to speak about fake food. Is that what we're speaking about, Brother Bless?
We speaking about okay, greetings. Yeah, we're speaking about some fake food, not all of them, just some of them, which you should be aware of, and that's what we're talking about today. What kind of fake food are we talking about, my dear?
Fake rice, maybe, might be a good start.
Yeah, well, let's go.
Well, fake rice, I don't know about you, fake rice. I mean, I've been watching a lot of things on YouTube with regards to how to spot fake rice. What about you? I mean, fake rice cannot float in water, and fake rice can't burn, apparently. And and fake rice. What else? Fake rice is a problem for us, actually, because it's been a staple diet in the Caribbean for a long time. So Sunday meals would not be a Sunday meal without rice and peas and chicken. So that's our traditional Sunday staple, and now rice is such a worrying thing for a lot of people. And I don't know, what do you think about rice?
All right, we could talk a little bit about the plastic rice. There's a lot of us eating and don't realize that you're not getting full. You can eat a meal, but you're losing weight. You're not gaining no weight. Now, I'm going to tell you this because I've experienced it myself. I've been on a diet of eating a certain amount of food every day and this and that for about 6 months, and realized I am not gaining no weight. And I'm buying like basmati rice, and I'm talking about, there's one in a blue. I'm going to blur them out. The one in a blue shiny packet, supposed to be good, yeah. But I've realized that I'm not putting on no weight. So what? Because those who know how to cook, sometimes if you know how to cook, it may save your life, yeah. Because if you cook basmati rice, you notice if you put more water on it, it will get softer. Basmati rice is a rice that you have to pay attention to. You can't just walk away and leave it like long grain rice. You can't do that. You got to pay attention to it and kind of stir it every now and again. That's how I do mine anyway. I kind of stir it a little bit so that it don't stick or don't get too clammy, and I don't put too much water in it, because if you do, you got a problem. You can't reverse that. With American grain rice, if you put too much water in it, you can get away with it. But with basmati rice, you can't, because you will end up making rice pudding. Yeah. Now, when you buy basmati rice and you're cooking it, when you've had your food and you go warm up the food again, you put more water in it to warm it up. But what I've realized, when I put more water in it, one time I put too much water in it to warm it up, it didn't go soft. It didn't go soggy. I realized the amount of water that I put in it, it should have turned rice pudding, but it didn't. And it was still hard as it was when I first cooked it.
Wow.
So that's why I'm saying plastic rice stays at a certain texture. Doesn't matter how much water you put on it, it will not go below that texture. It would feel like it's cooked and soft. But if you try and make rice porridge out of that, rice pudding or something like that, it ain't happening with plastic rice. So that's why I realized some of the basmati rice which we use is plastic. Yeah? So check your rice, you know what I mean, to make sure it ain't plastic. You said plastic rice float or don't float?
Yeah, that's what. There's a few YouTube information out there which talks about how to spot fake rice.
Yeah.
And so they say one of the examples is to put like maybe just a little bit of rice into a cup and immerse it in water and just stir it for a couple of minutes. And if it doesn't float, if it floats to the top, then it really isn't rice. I think that's what it is. And
yeah.
also about burning it, that rice shouldn't be burnt.
Rice don't burn?
Yeah.
What, real rice?
Yeah.
Real rice burn. Trust me. And I'll tell all those who burn up rice, because I burn up rice enough time.
Oh, I don't mean that.
Rice burns, trust me.
Yeah.
When you leave it unattended and go to do something and say, oh, and you start smelling something burning, rice burns. Plastic rice burns. Right, so when they're saying rice don't burn, anything with fire burn. Whether it's plastic, wood, anything, it will burn. Since we're talking a little bit about the plastic food as well, I personally think that we have been targeted. I'm going to talk the thing.
Yeah.
I think that we personally have been targeted with this thing, because a lot of our stuff that we eat has been infiltrated and changed up in such a way that we don't even realize it. I'm going to give you another example. Milo.
My favourite drinking chocolate.
You know, no more. Milo is also, some of the Milo is plastic. Yeah? Do your research. Some of the Milo is plastic. Fake Milo. I don't know what they did, but it's fake Milo. Yeah? And we are the ones that use Milo. You know what I mean? And a lot of our stuff is basically, even fish. You know about the fish?
I do.
All right. So can just go through a couple of it. I don't want to talk and then end up talking through some of the things that you got there, some of the information. So
Well, basically, no. I really before we speak about rice, I wanted to get some history. I mean, they say that from the year 2000, there hasn't been a consumption of plastic. Let's just think about plastic itself, just plastic in its own right. The history behind plastic, that it has been used more than in a lifetime, they say, than it has than how it's been used now since 2000. So it's been used in so many ways because it's a moldable kind of it's a moldable
kind of food.
No, it's a moldable type of
material.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
It's a moldable type of material that they've been able to use in so many different ways. And so what we recognise now is that since 2000, it's been used so much that it's actually affected so much of what life looks like for us. So if it's affecting the oceans, which it definitely is affecting the oceans at the moment, it's affecting marine life, landfills, it's affecting, the kind of fish that we're consuming. I mean, it's getting everywhere, and not all plastic is recyclable. It becomes trash if it's not recycled. It's not the capacity for it to be recycled is not there. So plastic so the oceans are filled with all these plastics that fish are eating, whales are eating, shellfish are eating, and then they end up in our tap water. And I think it was in 2017 that they stated that it's about 83% of microplastic, which is only kind of like almost unseeable levels of plastic you'll find coming through your tap water. So I know that most of us will drink bottled water, which is plastic anyway. We'll go into the different types of plastics, which ones are more dangerous from which ones aren't, a little bit later. But plastic is in everything, and it's found its way into our food chain, and it's now on our tables. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not something that we're choosing, but there is a history behind them. The government, their initiatives. Because you were saying something about you think it's geared towards us.
Yeah, it is. You'd be surprised of how we've been targeted. I mean, in a way, and that's what it is, because if you look at your research and realize that even down to the lettuce, some cabbage, apples, right? Apples actually, they don't actually make the apples out of plastic, but they spray them with a plastic coating. Yeah, so if you put your apples in hot water, you will see that there's a layer on it that is fake. Most red apples and certain apples have it. They got a fake layer on it. So when you put it in hot water, you will actually see it peel off.
It's wax, isn't it?
Yeah, but wax is kind of plastic. You're eating that. Wax is plastic, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? But that's on most apples to preserve them. In India, I've seen people actually inject tomatoes. Before they leave India or before they go to the stores, they actually have them and they inject them one by one so that they preserve them for a certain amount of time. So basically, as they pick them, they give it to the next guy, he injects them, and then they last about another 4 months. Yeah, so that's with the vegetables. I've seen the Indian people do this. Some of the things from India, they do that as well. And even down to your chicken, which is not chicken, right? Because you are what you eat, right? So the chicken, them, what they've done, it's not directly plastic, but they inject it with fluid to make it look puffy. You understand? Look, I ask you something. Do you eat chicken? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
Some people
do.
do, some people don't. Right.
I do.
Now, do you remember when we was little and we used to eat chicken? Yeah. You used to strip it off. in strips. You could literally strip the chicken and eat it. I don't know about you.
I don't remember that.
What that means is you don't know about real chicken, right? So, right. So people who knows about the real chicken is when the chicken cook proper, and sometimes it cook till it dry, but you don't have to bite it. You can just strip it off and eat it. That's what chicken used to be like. I don't know if you can do that today, but I know the chicken is not chicken. The chicken has never ate any form of grass in its life. This chicken has never walked on grass. It's never walked on the ground. It's never ate nothing from nature. And you eat that and tell me that's food. You're eating food that don't eat food. The chicken most probably eat other chickens because it's all grains they give them now. They give the change grain. So you have to look at the slaughterhouse. If you really want to eat some good food, go and watch the slaughterhouse. Go YouTube, right? Type up slaughterhouse. You got all different animals to choose from. You can choose from the chickens. You can choose from the pig. You can choose from the cows. You need to know how your animals die before they come to you. Oh no, I don't want to know how my animals die. But you want to live on them and eat them and make them become your life force, and you don't know how they die. You need to know this, you understand, because it's not a nice way. And it's just like how our ancestors was traumatized through slavery and all of this thing. You say it affects us. That's what we say. Because we've been traumatized through slavery. We've been affected. This slave syndrome. We've been beaten, our ancestors, through slavery. So it's been affecting them. But when you look at what the animals go through, they get more than beaten. They get more than beaten. Some of them get slaughtered and they're still alive. By the time they're skinning them, they're still alive. By the time they're burning the hairs off the animal's flesh, they're still alive. So imagine what is going, what vibration and energy is going through that animal at that time. And then we now take that vibration and eat it and call it food. Genesis 1. God made every green herbs of the field for man as meat. Right? God also in Genesis 1 gave every green herbs of the field for the animals as meat too. Check it out. Christians who wants to bless, I can bless my food and eat it. That means say you can eat me then. Hypothetically, you can eat a human being if you bless it.
Well, can I? Oh, that's a really good point, because you know, you were talking about food as well.
Yeah.
That the Nestle, it's just been recent. I saw it through one of the social media sites. That Nestle, they use aborted fetuses in their products, and the governments and all the official groups in the government, they legitimize the fact that they can use aborted fetuses. I think it's for some binding element. You don't know how Nestle used to be.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, that our parents used these products. You know, when my mum and dad came here, that Nestle was a big product in our household.
Yes, Nestle's milk with bread, toast.
Absolutely, bread and toast, Nestle's milk. So when you were hungry, Nestle's milk was a real sandwich filler for us. So yeah, that just came to light recently, and everything's coming to light at the moment. But I don't think they, like you said, I think it is a political thing that is being geared towards us. And I also think that they focus on a lot of the plastic rice and things from China, Singapore, Sri Lanka, when really we could be, you know, like pawns in this game where they're trying to stop us from doing business with China for reasons that are bigger than what we know.
Yes. Well, remember the upper class people, they think they're eating proper food, because this is why there's such an investment in the farmers, because that's where their food come from. You understand?
Yeah.
When we went to school, what they teach you? Oh, McDonald at the farm, E-I-E-I-O. And where does most of our children go to eat? McDonald's. It's been brainwashed into your children from a youth that when you walk past McDonald's with some of these children, they start screaming and going on mad. Because they've already been programmed E-I-E-I-O from school. You know? Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah.
Now he's got a shop.
Absolutely.
Where did he get the animals from? You know what I mean? So when you look at all of these things, what we've been kind of steered into this way of life, which is not natural for us, you know? And, you know what I mean? I'm saying us as human beings, not just us as black people, us as human beings. So this show is obviously, you know what I mean, I've got to talk about our own people, because our people are eating some things that is not good. They're going to buy a lot of fast food things, which is not, it's not the food ain't good. The food is good. But there's one thing that you lot don't realize. It doesn't make no sense. You go to your West Indian shop or your this shop or your that shop and buy good takeaway food. When I say good takeaway food, I mean some people cook the food good. But then when they give you the food is dead. And I'm going to explain why. And you are not really aware of what's going on. You go into a shop. Can I have some chicken? No, not me personally. I'm not eating a bird. None. I don't eat nothing with legs. Put it that way. You understand? If it have legs, it's not for we. Yeah. So you go into a shop and you go.
But sorry, but your but your wife has legs, no?
I don't eat my wife. Yo, when I don't see them there, oh, man, a big man, you know, when I hear them say that, oh.
Oh, sorry, I just couldn't. I couldn't.
Oh, it's like all the man them that don't eat plastic food. That's the only way I could word. That's the right way.
Absolutely.
Okay, she's smiling. I don't know why, but let's move along.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to break your chain of thought.
No, you didn't actually, you know, because at the end of the day, that's another story, but we can go past that as we swiftly move along.
Okay.
Right. Back to the thing. So we go into the shop and we go, can we have some fish, rice, some peas, this, that, rare. They go, oh, yes, okay. Now, on the way, the journey of that food from the counter to you, it makes a wonderful stop before it comes to you. And when it comes to you, it goes to in a microwave.
Oh, Lord.
A microwave. Now, that automatically kills the food before it comes to you. Now, when you get your food, it is dead. Although the fish is dead, but it deader than dead now. You understand? Because you have killed and destroyed all the oil in that fish, all the omega-9 and all these things, what's in the fish, all the nutrients in the fish, the hard food and the banana which give you iron. You have destroyed it with the microwave or microwave. Yeah. So what I do, if I do get any food from these people, I tell them, do not warm it up. If I can't find the time to put it in a pot and warm it up, then how much do I love myself? Sometimes it's convenient that you're not at home or you can't get the food home to warm it up properly. I understand that, but you must also be aware that when they put that thing in the microwave, they're putting it in a plastic container.
Absolutely.
They're warming up that plastic. If you warm up plastic, it's going to let off certain things in your food.
Definitely.
You're eating heated up plastic in your food, more or less. But I mean, I'm not saying that you mustn't eat these food. I'm saying the food is fine. There's nothing wrong with the food. It's fine. I think there might be, I'm not sure, but there might be some kind of microwave that warm up the food a certain way. But when I used to use a microwave, you know, I used to do, Sista Moorino.
Yes, what?
When I used to warm up my microwave, when I used to have a microwave, I warm up the food by turning it on defrost.
Oh wow, on the microwave?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've never used that.
Right, and I'll tell you why I did that.
Yeah.
Because when you put your food in a microwave, how does it warm up the food? It warms up the food inside out. That is not natural. That's not natural. How we cook is from the outside in. You put something in the oven, it cooks from the outside in. So when I put the food in the microwave and I put it on defrost, it cooks from the outside in. It's still microwave, but for me to put a food in the microwave and it warms up in 30 seconds, that's not natural.
No, that's not natural.
So I'd rather sit down and wait 4 minutes for it to warm up on that side. They might say it's more radiation, but I don't know. But that would have been the only way I used it at the time. So that's my little take on the plastic thing, on the microwave thing.
Well, you made a really good point, and I wanted to just add a little bit to that, because that's what they are saying, that even though there are a few of these, that plastic comes under so many different categorizations. I think there's 6 categories and maybe a 7th category of different types of plastic, and the kind of polystyrene that we use when we go into West Indian Caribbean shops. When you do heat them, when you heat them that much, then it does leach into your food. And it does create chemicals that become carcinogens. Carcinogens, as most of us know, are linked to cancer. So I think that there are some safe plastics and there are some really unstable plastics, but they're in every part of what we use. I mean, doctors use them. They use them for cabling. We use, plastic cabling for medical devices. And so can you imagine that you're using a medical device to save someone, and that same medical device might be, predisposed to hurting you at the same time. So it's quite interesting. So there are some safer plastic categories that, like certain containers that we can use. And we'll go into it a little bit later. But there are some really unstable plastics that they can't be broken down. They can't be recycled easily. So there's so much that even Theresa May's has put forward a 25-year plan for recycling, and she's also in her 25-year plan. Theresa May has said that she's going to try to introduce these aisles in the supermarkets where you don't have to use plastic bags that we presently pay about 5p for. There'll be like a loose aisle where you go in with your own bags, and then you just have everything put into the bags, and it'll just be an aisle for that. So that's one of the recommendations that Theresa May is doing. I mean, her governments and her European governments will convene in April for some long-standing things with the oceans that they're going to talk about in April. But right now, they're looking at recycling, not really looking at alternatives as to what we could be using instead of plastic, because it's such a cheap commodity that does so many things, and they send some of the worst products to Africa. That's where they're going, to our people. They're going in our direction, especially the worst types. So I think we need to look into it a little bit. I know it might not be interesting, but we use lunch boxes. We give our children lunch boxes every morning. So we're kind of sending them off sometimes without any knowledge of what, those lunch boxes are made out of. And so we have to kind of look at the codes. There are some codes, and we'll go through them after we listen to a couple more tunes. What do you reckon, Bless?
Yeah, we're all right. We're cool. But number to get you through is 079 444 31366. That's 079 444 31366. You can also get us on the WhatsApp. And for those who are listening live, pick up all the listeners on blessradio.org. Yeah, so that's where we are. And big shout goes out to all the YouTube listeners. Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for your support, and we appreciate it, because we're on a mission.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is why we put the word Moorina, because we are going back to the Moorish ways of things. Yeah, who you really are, your ancestors. Not say that we are not Africans, or the word African, what they call Africa Kemet. You know what I mean? But we are going back to black. You understand? And it's not, as I say, it's not a racist way we're dealing with it, because God made all creatures great and small. God made us all. So if we have another set of people that don't really check for it, I think the best thing we do is educate them instead of fighting against them. If they did understand who we are, they wouldn't fight against we, because we know who they are, and we're not fighting against them.
They know who we are.
Yeah, but we need to, some of them need to educate them. Go on.
I think people know who we are. I don't think you need to apologise for speaking to self or to others of a similar situation than yourself, or similar culture than yourself. I have no problem speaking to the family of brothers that come out of Kemet on this show.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is not a problem because these issues will be sidelined every single day. I am talking to you. I'm proud to be
A more.
a Moorino.
A Moorino.
Yeah, so I'm proud to be a Moorino. We don't know everything, but we realise that we have to keep abreast of all the situations that are happening. We have to stay educated. We have to stay reading. We have to stay abreast of all these things. Anything else, Bless, before we...
Yeah, well, that's what it is so far. We're going to play another song. This one is for those people who doesn't know what time we're living in. This is by... Hey, what are you going to play?
Egyptian.
Egyptian. Which one you going to play?
I'm going to play Serious Time.
All right, because we are living in a serious time, but it's also a time that we are waking up. I think that we are awake. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to just work with the thing, but we ain't got no choice. You're awake, man. We're all waking up or are awoken. So we could just do what we have to do before we leave this earth here. Because I show my youth them and say, listen, when you're upon this earth here, make sure when you leave this earth, you leave something behind that your grandchildren can recognize what you have done or what you have left behind. Not what your children, but what your grandchildren. That's what I show my youth them. Leave some kind of legacy that your grandchildren can say, my mother done this, or my mother did that, or my father did this, or my father did that, or was this, or something. Strive for that. Everybody has got a gift. The Most High bless everyone with a gift and a talent. So if you feel so, boy, I can't do nothing, believe me, there's people out there that got no arms who are doing some serious sports. People out there with no legs doing some serious sports. People with blind who can do some serious things. And you who God blessed with 2 hands, 2 foot, 2 eyes, 2 ears, fully working, well, there's nothing I can do.
You know what that reminds me of? I have to interject right here. That really reminded me of something. And that reminds me of, I don't even know which part of the New Testament that is. I don't, you know, I'm not a Bible basher of any sort, but I've read the Bible so many times, I remember certain things. And it was definitely, that always reminds me of the 10 talents and the 5 talents.
The talents, when they were giving talents. Talent is a gift, you know.
So the one with the 1 talent, one was given 10, one was given 5, one was given 1.
Right.
And it sometimes reminds us of those that don't want to do more for themselves. That when the Creator came and asked what happened to the man with the 10, he had doubled his, and the one with 5 doubled his. And when he came to the man with the 1, he had his hands under his lap.
He buried it.
And he thought he wasn't blessed. Instead of using that one solitary gift.
Right. That one thing. Maybe that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Right? So you might not think that you can do what other people can do, but some people you can write. Right? And I'm going to give you another example before we play this tune. If you don't know what your talent is, or if you don't know what your gift is, because the Bible talks about talent, which is a gift. Sometimes your gift is right in front of you and you don't even see it. For example, I can say something that I'm going to say it this way. It's not a nice way of saying it. Sorry. It's not a nice way of saying it, but it kind of makes sense. You have people out there who sometimes they get abused, or they go through certain little abuse. Yeah, I'm not talking about sexual abuse, but I mean just abuse, physical abuse or whatever. Then they sit down and they say, God, they do nothing for me. There's no talent. They start. But here what happened? When you grow up, or later on in life, when you've kind of gotten over the situation, it sounds strange, but you are now qualified to help those who coming up so that they don't go through what you went through. That's a talent. A woman who's been abused has now got the qualification to teach her daughter what not to do to be abused. And I say what not to do within reason. You understand? So when I'm not talking about sexual abuse. I'm just talking about verbal, different cultures.
But any abuse,
any kind of abuse, regardless of what. Yeah, but you can't teach your children how to avoid sexual abuse, because sometimes
you have to teach your children. You can. Teach
But as I was saying, it's just.
I'm sorry, you can teach them. You can teach them about the no friend zones.
Yes. Yeah, to stay away.
You can teach them from a childlike position. There's ways of teaching that help you to highlight some of these areas.
So what you've been through in your life, especially the bad things, you are now qualified. You have a PhD.
Absolutely.
In teaching the younger ones who are coming up. Listen, don't do this because this will happen. Don't do that because that will happen. That's why the scriptures show you honor your mother and father and your days will be longer, because they have already been through what you're going to go through.
Amen.
You understand? They have a talent to give you. But some parents bury their talent and don't guide their children and spoil them. Give them what they want. Give them PlayStation when they're room. Go to your room. But in your room, you got your PlayStation, you got your iPhone, you got everything. Is that basically using your experience to correct them? No. All right. So we're going to play the tune. What you said, Serious Times. Yeah. And this is from Sista Moorino. And this I can't say it because this is a Sista Moorino talk show. Tell them what the show, please.
This is Egyptian and this is Serious Time. Well done, Bless. That was interesting stuff you were talking about just now.
All right. So as we move along, and thanks for all the listeners, we are going to push this show to a level. And, you know, so the Most High bless you.
But this is what your ladies need to know. Yeah, I know us brothers do a whole lot of things that make you sisters feel we ain't worth a thing. But let me tell you about this one special thing. When a man's ready to be faithful, it's a feeling no man can deny.
Yeah, that little intro there. Remember, we can't deny the truth. And the truth, they said the truth will set you free or make you free, but you can't deny the truth. But no matter how true the truth is, we're still living in a serious time.
And I said these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is 7 times rise and 7 times fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. So I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is this violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful night. This is 7 times rise and 7 times fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. So sometimes you think it's peace and safety. It could be your first sudden destruction. See you wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. Life is much more precious than gold. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize and realize. I show you I hang out from the corner. I see a drive by me, see I go on from the corner and the corner. The youth them really now want no water. I see them go see I left the border. Cause I don't know them say them gone or they can play. And none can come in and shots start to spray. Only innocent life get taken away. So I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. To let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful nights. This is 7-time rise and 7-time fall. But I don't really believe in the falling things at all. Cause life continues as it goes. If you really want to know the truth of the truth isn't being told. No, 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 no. So sometimes you think it's peace and safety. It could be your first sudden destruction. See you wake up this morning, you better give thanks. You don't know if you're gonna live to see tomorrow. Life is much more precious than gold. Yeah, yeah. And if the truth hasn't been told, so I said, these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. As a serious time. Yeah,
yeah. Sometimes the rain don't mean a thing. Diamond rings will come.
Yes, yes, that's Morgan Heritage. Faithful.
Yeah, I know us brothers do a whole lot of things that make you sisters feel we ain't worth a thing. But let me tell you about this one special thing. When a man's ready to be faithful, it's a feeling no man can deny. And it's a moment no money can buy. Cause when it comes, that's when the plan is done. A woman's victory is won. This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute without you. This is what it means when the plan is done and your victory is won. That's when he's ready to be faithful. When he feels no shame, crying in pain. When he's ready to be faithful. When he realizes the games don't bring gain. When he's ready to be faithful.
Yes, he's ready.
Yeah. Ready to be faithful. Yeah. Faithfulness is a serious thing. But some of us, we really bear the feeling. But when we get hit with the true meaning of when a man's ready to be faithful, we give up games and give you all that you like. We wouldn't even dare to tell you a lie. Cause when it comes, that's when the playing is done. A woman's victory is won. This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute without you. This is what it means when the plan is done and your victory is won. That's when he's ready to be faithful. When we feel no shame, crying in pain. When he's ready to be faithful. Yeah. That's when he's ready to be faithful. The moment every woman's longing for. That's when he's ready to be faithful.
Yes, he's ready.
When happiness comes knocking at your door.
My love will make you feel better than your brain on drugs. When I'm ready, I'll be faithful and my love will never rub you wrong, girl. Picture me and you, girl. When the time comes, if it comes, I'll lace you with them diamonds and pearls. Let me know, would you ride with me? If I get locked, would you be dead, still rolling with me. Would you snitch to the feds cause you know for me? Try to stop me on my grind and build your own dynasty. But if you the one to be my shining star, I'll be there, don't worry, just be who you are. I'll give you all you need, that house and that car. I'll give you love, loyalty, I'm faithful.
This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute without you. This is what it means when the plan is done and your victory is won. That's when he's ready to be faithful. When he feels no shame, crying in pain, ready to be faithful. Happiness comes knocking at your door, ready to be faithful. The moment everyone's waiting for, ready to be faithful. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes. That was Morgan Heritage. That was Morgan Heritage and Faithful. Wonderful. Okay, just here again, this Sista Moorino and Brother Bless is with me for a little while until he leaves me. I just wanted to quickly, nothing major, nothing heavy, nothing problematic, but just to clarify that there are 7 types of plastic, maybe 6 types of plastic. I just wanted to go through them a little bit, just a quick breeze through, nothing major. You know, it's the first one is polyethylene terephthalate, which is a PTE kind of label, which kind of covers food and drinks, you know, like plastic bottles and food containers, the kind of plastic they use for those. And there's another one called high density polyethylene, which is a HDPE kind of coding for the type of plastic. And then there's another one called polyvinyl chloride, which is PVC. And then the fourth one is a low density polyethylene, which is LDPE label. And there's a polypropylene, I'm not even saying this word, polypropylene, which is a PP label. And the last one is, oh yeah, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 polystyrene or styrofoam. Yep, I think I've said styrofoam. And they're all used for different things that we find in our homes, and I think it's just really important to understand the kind of plastic that we're using. Like I said, that polystyrene is still a form of plastic. Some are more stable, some are more unstable, and we use these different types of plastic within our home and in our daily lives all the time. Some are more dangerous. All of them have the potential to leach, which means that under conditions of heat or in terrible situations, even the ones that are stable, that they say are fit for food and drink, can change. And the perfect example of that was when they found that women or people would leave their bottles of water in their car in the summer, and it would get warm. It would go to room temperature, and then or it'd get hot, and then they would still drink it, and they could become sick because they were finding these carcinogens in these situations where the plastic was heating, and it was emitting or leaching onto the bottle or leaching into the water, and creating problems for our basic health. So I think that there are only 3 of them that are supposed to be considered to be safe, and that's the polyethylene terephthalate, which is a PET marking, and the high density polyethylene, and the polypropylene, which is a PD. Is it a PD? Yeah, it's a PD categorization, but you should have them on any of the plastic you buy. It should have its own label on it, and it's really important. I can't, I'm putting these really big words out there, but really it's important to know, because some of them are your children's toys, some of them are your children's bottles, some of them are your diapers, and some of them are found in period pads. So plastic is being used in such
Period pad.
Well, I shouldn't even say period pads, forgive me for saying, but pads women use.
Sanitary.
Sorry, forgive me.
Please. This we're talking about food.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry about that. Sorry, that came out too. That was wrong. Forgive me.
She's just being just telling it too straight. Sorry.
I didn't mean it like that. But
no, you do. You're being yourself.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
But it's in the molecular structure of the pad. So we are exposed to a lot of things that we're not aware of. So I'm sorry I said period pads, but I wasn't thinking straight right then.
Sorry, but she's keeping it real, and sometimes we have to keep it a little bit real.
Forgive me about that.
I forgive you, my dear.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Right, so basically, so that, like I said, there are 6 categories, and the 7th category is where they combine different plastics, and if they're combining different plastics, we just don't know what's going to happen, and what we're going to be exposed to in that situation, because plastic is a problem. Plastic is a problem. It's done, like we said before, it's found itself into our food chains. It's found itself into black people's food. I'm complaining. It's found itself into black people's food. It's found itself into so many fish. People are consuming fish and thinking they're safe. They're not safe. They're not safe. So we realise that the government are doing wonderful things now, trying to claw this back. But is it too little, too late? They knew what they were doing. They were trying to save money. They were trying to save money in the way in which they package these foods that they sell to people, and they were trying to do it as cost effectively as possible. And the cheapest way for them to have done to do that was to use this dangerous plastic that puts us in an incredible dilemma right now. What do you say, Brother Bless?
Oh God! Right. We could go more into this plastic thing. I like your topic though, I must say. Right, so as we go more into this plastic thing, as Sista Moorino quite rightly said, we have to be aware of what we put in our body. Right, she made some very valid points about the food, the containers. But what we ain't really paying a lot of attention to, that when you take your child and buy them things, most of the stuff you're buying them is in plastic. Your crisps come in plastic. Your biscuits come in plastic. Your bread comes in plastic. Everything you buy comes in plastic. Now, what kind of plastic? So when you look on the packets, it will tell you what grade of plastic it is. And if you look at any plastic cup, i.e. from a water machine or anything, every plastic will tell you the grade of plastic it is. So when you look at the grade of plastic, you will know that that plastic will leak or it won't leak. This is why certain companies who sell water use a certain grade of plastic, so that that plastic is not likely to leak into the product. Another thing about your food that you're not realizing, what a army crew that love baked beans. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's made out of plastic, but I'm not stopping you from eating, because you have to survive, but you have to be wise to survive. Your tin food is coated with a spray, which is plastic, in your tin can.
Wow.
Right? Do you think somebody's going to throw fruits in a tin and it just stays like that? It has to be coated with something to stop the fluid from making the tin go rusty. Plastic. All right, so as we move along, so that's what I'm saying. So when we're looking at what we eat, this is why it's a good thing to bless your food still.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a good thing to bless your food, because you don't know what you're eating and you don't know who you're eating. Get it?
Funny.
It's true.
But it is true, because like I just said, we said earlier on about the Nestles. If they are giving us aborted fetus in the Nestles products,
Yeah.
and they are being sanctioned by government, we are living in a time of serious government. That's all I got to say.
But the thing about it, all those girls who like to spend so much money on weave and this cosmetic and that's cosmetic and don't realize that how much baby fetus is in this lipstick and in this makeup products. Do you know how much? I could go deep into what they do.
It's amazing.
Yeah, what they do, especially with food, as well as we were saying, they put some of these. So what if you don't research what you're eating and you don't have the time? At least bless your food.
Well, you gave me a good starter there, because basically, if we are saying as a people and as a community, we're always going to be forward thinking in the music, and music from the Caribbean has been amazing. Music from Africa has been amazing. We need some of you young inventors, some innovators to come up with alternatives, because we just need some real alternatives. If bottles are going to be too expensive, we need safer materials. The scientists that were saying that these things like plastic were safe, they will always sell safe to you, because it's an initiative sold by conglomerates and rich people trying to sell something. They're not going to let you know. They're not even going to really research what is science and what are scientists. Because for me, scientists are only as good as the moment they're trying to use a particular product. They're not going to let you know the ins and outs. It's only after the fact when we realize that cancer and Alzheimer's, because actually Alzheimer's and dementia is related
to plastic.
To plastic.
And also it's related to, sorry to cut you there, it's also related to cheap pots.
True.
Your cooking pots, right? Because we like to go to the market, missing some nice cooking pot in the market, and they look pretty. And your mother come, you know how much pots our parents have got?
Come on.
Please.
Come on.
They got one set that they use, they got one set that they have for Christmas, and they got one set that nobody don't ever touch. That's us.
I don't know those pots.
No, we got
every pot has to get touched.
No,
you know?
So what we don't realize is the metal that some of these pots are made out of is our parents getting this Alzheimer's thing, because they use cheap metal at the time. That's why if you go to the chefs and find out what pots they use, you will realize they use certain quality pots what don't leak out into the food. People do not want to spend £200 on a set of pots because they say it's too expensive. But that's your life you're talking about. It's too expensive to spend £200 to save your own life. Some people put money over life. And that is something that I'm going to make sure you remember, that never put money over life.
But also, like Sista Moorino just said, if there's young people thinking, what can I do? And you're the man with the one talent, or the female with the one talent.
Yeah.
Look at alternatives. If you can come up with the alternatives that make food, heating safer, how we can carry juices around safer, bring them to the marketplace, make them a more viable way, bring stable products to this so that we can drink water as we go through different temperatures, do something and become multi-billionaires in as a result, because you've got to look. I honestly believe that when you see a system falling apart, you have to find out what it is that you can do, because you may be able to just change everything with the information that you have, and create a totally different situation for all of us by coming up with these innovations. And we have them innovations within us.
They're already there, my dear. We always had them. But what it is, you're living in a system that don't really want you to survive. And I'm just talking about black people. I'm talking about people themselves. Because this is why the Jews call them sheeples and whatever they want to call them. Because they're not taking control of their own life. Now, if you've got a set of people that saying, oh, we want this, oh, we want that, oh, give us this, oh, give us that. When are you going to start building your own? When are you going to start creating your own? Right, although certain people are stopping us from doing, because we have been creating, don't get it twisted, and the whole society is looking at us like we haven't created anything when we have created everything.
Everything.
Yeah, but our people's name is not on them. And as we talked about, I don't know if it was me and you talking about it last week, where one of the first millionaire was a 10-year-old black woman. Black girl. Yeah. There's enough things that our people has contributed to, and no one knows. So don't let no one tell you that we haven't done anything or we need to do this or we need to do. We've done it all. Everything else that's come here now has been plagiarized. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So scriptures keep on telling you there is nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Right? So going back to that, Sister Moorino, there's one important thing that I'm going to bring to you. I don't know if you've noticed this, yeah? Because I'm glad you brought up this topic about plastic. Right? Two things. Remember, your shoes, some of them have got plastic. Sandals, plastic. Flip-flops, plastic. Some trainers, plastic. Laying, underlay, the soles, plastic. You understand?
Yeah.
We're surrounded by plastic. Some of your jumpers is made with plastic.
Yes.
Right?
It goes into, so if it's that's if it's either partly synthetic or non-synthetic.
Yeah.
By the time you put it in the washing machine, it's creating problems within your washing machine. Just the fact that plastic's in there, it's really crazy.
So look at the label of what your clothes is made of.
Absolutely.
And find out what that is.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Right? Because a lot of us are wearing plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And a lot of us are also wearing clothes that are made out of some dangerous chemicals. Right? And sometimes you may put on a jumper or something, and all of a sudden it's irritating you and itching you, and you're thinking it's the salt powder, and you wash it again and you wash it again. But what you're doing, you're washing out the chemical that made the jumper in the first place. Now this part here, I've got a look at ester resistance, yeah. But if you would like to add something before I add this piece.
No, carry on.
Okay, this is the ester resistance of the show. This one goes out to all my Rasta brethren them who don't know what go on. My brethren and sisters, beware. We're still talking about this plastic thing. Now, a lot of us like to go to the markets and these stores and buy these hats. Rasta hat, woolly hats, all these kind of hats. What some people don't realize is some of these hats are cutting out your hair. You're trying to wonder, why is the back of my hair like that? What's going on with the back of your hair? What's going on with the top of your hair? Some of us ain't realizing. See, the youths them, because they get their hair cut all the time, they don't notice it. They can put their woolly hat, and some people keep their hair low, so they don't notice it. But if you grow your hair, you will notice it. And I have got 100% proof that these hats, some of these hats, I say 70% of the hats that you buy, woolly hats in the markets and those Rasta hats and Rasta tams, what you buy on stores, I say 70% of them are cutting out your hair and you don't even know it.
Why is that then?
Because of what they made it with.
So it's interweaved. I think what it is.
It's the material.
Okay.
But when you feel it, it feels, oh, it's a woolly hat and it's a whatever. You think but you really know what that hat's made from. And
But they're saying the same thing with coffee and tea. What they so they can bulk it up with these different things, tea and coffee. This is what I'm saying. They're bulking up all these different items with things that are not true to what they're saying it is. So I'm thinking it's forcing us back into a country way of living, forcing us away from an environment that doesn't look like it is ever going to get a handle on nature and valuing nature and what nature has provided for us.
You said it right there. You said it right there. Nature. We've run far away from nature, natural. You understand?
But when she come and slap you though, when she come back like a tsunami, it's not going to be pretty out here.
Right.
Right. So the other thing I want to say to interrupt you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is that the plastic that is not biodegradable becomes trash. You know, it becomes trash that sits. It sits in your garden. It's there's so many things that will be sitting around that they just can't break down. And so they advise that in recycling, that you try and put your glasses in one container and your plastic in another and your paper in another, just to help those unstable plastics that we went through some of the definitions, which were kind of too smart for me. But you have to look into the labeling and which ones are stable, and even the ones that are stable, like I said, are all hazardous. They all can trickle into your system. They'll leach into your system.
So ain't some kind of contraceptives were made out of plastic?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not aware of that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, not at all.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, but the plastic, if the what they call microplastic gets into your system, if you're drinking, if 83% of tap water is
Chlorine.
Is microplastic, finite amounts of plastic, then we're consuming that on another level. Because I actually sent a WhatsApp video the other day, a year ago, which was talking about that the water is full of crap because most of the pipes are so old, over 100 years old.
Yeah, the Victorian pipes, yeah.
And you can imagine what lurks in a pipe, let alone, even if you put anything in a dark space, you'll find animals.
Well, look at London. Look how old the houses are. Some of them are from 1899 or whatever, but the pipes are still the same pipes. You understand?
Absolutely.
And you know what I mean? After a period, like what you're saying, after a period of time of water running through these pipes, it's going to build up residue at the bottom. You know what I mean?
But they're also dark. What you find in a dark, damp place, you'll find other things growing in them. And then it's not to put everybody else. That's just the reality.
Mice as well, rats live in there.
Everything lives in there.
Yeah,
you just have to pray. You have to pray, you know, because it's serious. So when we think about our health conditions, when we think about our digestive systems, especially as you can start getting older, your digestive systems will start slowing down so badly that you could be going to an early grave. So we need to be more conscientious about what the government deems as stable plastic, safer plastic. But really, I think more to the point, we need to get back to our village societies, and we need to build civilizations again, because that's the only way I know that we're going to get out of it. But this, to me, the plastic and the depopulation across the world, plastic is just one symptom of the depopulation process. So we haven't played no music, you know. I feel this has become a
no, people. It's all right. This is the Marie. I told her already. Once she starts sitting in her seat, you know, she ain't gonna play no music. And she goes, "Oh, I have to play music." I can listen to me. You're gonna do it. And look, you're gonna play 2 songs, and you got so much to information to give.
But the music is nice, though.
I know, but the information can save life.
Okay, but you know, the biggest one that saves life, especially when you've been subjected to the water and the foods that we've obviously been affected for years. You know, we have brought great food to this part of the world, and this part of the world have learnt so much from our culture. Yeah. But now it's swung back into a really absurd situation. The symptoms are plastic. But the behaviours it's more about greed. And like I said, I still think I'm still talking about the 400 years of slavery, and that culmination being a blessing to us and freeing us up to a greater liberty.
What?
A greater liberty.
Who'll tell you that?
That's how I see it.
No. We was great before slavery.
No. It's not about. It's not even.
We was great. We would have been greater if it wasn't for that.
Absolutely.
You understand? But at the same time, when you're looking at the lifestyle we're living now and how far we are from, enough of us are far from the Creator, our natural way of life, then this is a way that we can draw and look and see what's going on all around the world and realize, yo, you know what, it's safer to be walking with the Almighty than to walk in the world, because the world is full of corruption. You understand? I'm not saying you must be religious and all of this stuff, but your spiritual self, your higher consciousness, your divinity within yourself, Absolutely. Which we say is God, but it's the divinity within yourself. You know what I mean? This is what you need to walk with. This is what you need to get to understand and listen to, because it is your guide. It is your higher self. So
can I just play "Jah Bless Me" by Jah Cure, because I haven't played no music, peeps.
Yeah, well then, yeah, peeps, you're going to play this one because you're really going to need a blessing after you eat your food. So if you don't know who you're eating, so
you don't know who you're eating.
Yeah, you don't know crack Donald, you know what I mean?
Or cannibalism, because actually they found those 2 children that were saying that they were using McDonald's. Those 2 children who came out in East Finchley, just around the corner from me, East Finchley, saying that they were going to these places where they were doing demonic services in McDonald's in Hampstead. And there was this big furore about it. Seriously, young 6-year-old boy and girl born in this country, indigenous to this country, and yet they were subjected. They said they cook the babies, they eat the
Oh
babies.
yeah. But remember this though. Although they say that, yeah, you're still finding our people in there. Our people don't care, and as I say, Christian them me have a thing against Uno, you know, because as I said in the beginning, Uno have this thing where you can bless anything and eat it, but that's not biblical, because you're not supposed to eat the swine. There's certain things that is not supposed to eat, and you're turning around and saying this is a Nazarene vow and it's for them. No, it's for all of us. It's for all of us. The Most High already tell you what you must eat and what you mustn't eat. The Most High also said,
most scientists would agree with you as well.
Right? And the Most High also said, thou shalt not kill. But did the Most High say what you mustn't kill? That's the bit that I don't. Why people so blind? The Most High said, thou shalt not kill. He didn't say thou shalt not kill man. He didn't say thou shalt not kill animal. He didn't say thou shalt not kill plants. He said thou shalt not kill. Full stop. Don't kill nothing.
I'm gonna kill the spiders, you know. I don't care.
You can't. You can't.
Okay, I'll try not to kill the spiders, but please don't come in my house in the summertime. Please.
All you do, you catch it in a plastic tub and you throw it out.
Okay.
Right? But you can't kill them.
One time, a spider was in the total opposite corner of my room and walked to the centre, went right down to the floor, and walked to my foot and climbed on my shoe. I swear.
That's good.
And I said I held myself for about 5 seconds, and then I had to stamp it.
What? After it travel, you know how many miles that spider traveled to get to your foot? That's miles to a spider, you know.
No, it freaked me out after that, because I thought I could.
Oh.
I know it was a blessing, you know, in a way, you know, but I didn't take it as a blessing.
This is what we're going to do on that issue. People,
forgive me.
If you listen to what she just said there, what I want you to do is add your comment in the YouTube box, yeah, to what you think she should have done in that incident. We need your comments here, because this is what we're doing now. Yeah, we need your comments now. Yeah. So she made a decision to spider traveled over 200 miles. 200 miles? In spider language, yeah. It's far. It's only a little thing. You know what I mean? It's mild. Big thing. Yeah, but I mean, it's a long way in spider language. No, it would be about half a mile. Half a mile to your feet to get crushed. People, we're not going to say anything, but let's have your opinion. Opinion could be good. We might disagree, but it's still your opinion of what she should have done. What would you have done, ladies, if you saw a spider? Would you scream and step on it? Would you be brave and put it out? Would you call the husband to take it out? What would you do? Leave the comment in the YouTube box, and we will know what she would do. And
to that time, I'm going to play another tune, and it's definitely by Jackie. We really haven't played much music today, and the time has flown.
It's all right, but information is valid. Go and tune, my sister.
Yeah, so this tune is Jackie, and God bless us, because we need it.
Hey lady.
Ooh, baby.
We need to talk.
I love you, yeah.
You know it's good we can reminisce on all good days.
Ooh, baby.
I know Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try. No Jah manifest me. And my fans are request me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. As far as the wind blow from the west to the east side, I and I praises never cease, oh Lord. Emperor Selassie, I never sees the judgment that the wicked man keep. I know them must get defeat, oh Lord. So get the youth, be wise, and open up your eyes, be God, yeah. I
I know Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try. Yo, oh, Jah manifest me. And my fans are regress me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. Why keep fighting in your mind when you know it cannot tell? Thoughts of you is so unkind. Wonder what is under your bed. The fool shall depart from his way, yeah. So clean up your heart, for you end up on the shelf. Jaja say, you should never diss the righteous. You never make it from you unjust. Whoa, 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 whoa. I know Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try. Oh, I know Jah manifest me. And my fans are regress me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry. As far as the wind blow from the west to the east side, I and I praises never cease, oh Lord. Emperor Selassie and the judgment never cease. But the wicked man feel, I know them must get defeat. Why, get the youth be wise and open up your eyes, because yeah. I know Jaja bless me. No wicked heart can test me. No matter what they try. Oh, Jah manifest me. And my fans are regress me. Now I'm gonna make the river run dry.
Yeah, that was Jacure there. Just one more tune here, lovely audience.
This is my song, this is my song. I knew it all along. You still not wrong, just keep it strong. Cause it's the right thing you doing. No super duper can use them, it's the right thing you doing. Rebellious like Malcolm X and Shaka. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. The battle hot and it a go get hotter. Cause it's the right thing you doing. The struggle on, but we must get over our distorting. This feud that caused this war to be started. Them short temper and enlightened. And love is a gift and them take it for granted. Surprise, no need, bad mind is active. For those who feel love, know what love is. It puzzles them whose vision is blind. It takes more than courage to fit the pieces. The right thing you doing. No super duper can use them. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. Rebellious like Malcolm X and Mosiah. Man, it's the right thing you doing. The battle hot and it a go get hotter. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. The struggle on and it must get over. Can't leave all the ends when you come from foreign. You can't forget what make a faith man holding. Erase the haters, we forsake backstabbing. We bring the vibes that keep the whole world skanking. If a war or if a peace you're preaching, the truth reveal unto the babes and suckling. And then it feels so rewarding to obey the king and disobey this shit. Same right thing you doing. No super duper can use them. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. Rebellious like Malcolm X and Luther. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. The battle hot and it a go get hotter. And it's the right thing you doing. No super duper can use them youth, yeah. It's the right thing you doing. Rebellious like Malcolm X and Mosiah. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. The struggle on, but we must get over. Yes, it's the right thing you doing. Yeah, the right thing you doing. No super duper can use them youth, yes, yeah. It's the right thing you doing.
Yes, this is Sista Moorino back in with Brother Bless. We're coming to the conclusion of the show. In these last 10 minutes, we just wanted to kind of do a little summary of what we talked about. It was just us skirting over some of the issues with plastic food and plastic rice and plastic this and plastic that, and the kind of food materials that we use. Everything's made of plastic. It's a moldable organism that can be used in so many different ways, but it is so hazardous to us, but also very handy and very cheap. So we just wanted to shine a light on the plastic food and the fact that, you know, really and truly we should be eating what God, the Creator, made for us, and that was the vegetation, the fibre, the fruits. And I know we can't always trust what those are, but we should stick to mainly what the Creator has blessed us with in nature, and with the way that governments deal with food and the products we use to drink from and eat from. We need to be looking back into the ways of yesterday with our foods. Have you got anything to say, Bless? Because this really was your topic, and this is really
my topic.
It was a topic that you told the audience that you wanted to cover next week. So
we. Alright, what I gotta say is bless up, people, because at the end of the day, the information is what it is. Yeah, it's up to you what you do with it. You know what I mean? Life is not long as it is, you know what I mean? So why not invest some money in your health? I've heard people that they don't want to buy expensive, healthy products because it costs too much. There's certain herbs and bushes and vegetables and enough things that we need for our body, but they're expensive. And I've heard people say, I'm not buying it because it took me, what, £10 for that meat? People, it's your life you're dealing with. If you can't decide to spend your money to preserve your life, then what's more important to you? That's why I say some people choose money over life. And this is what it is, the problem with enough of our people. They don't want to invest in their life. That's what I have to say. Invest in your life. If you've got to spend £200 to buy some healthy pots, do that. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to have to go and spend £100 to get some right herbs and containers, glass containers for your stuff, do that. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's your life. If you want to preserve it, you have to preserve it. When the man them want to preserve their food, they make freezers, which we made the freezer anyway, but they put their stuff in plastic bags and suck the air out of them to preserve them. They know what they're doing to preserve their things. God has given you life. You don't want to preserve it. You want somebody else to take care of you. You want somebody else to give you everything. Preserve your own life. Don't make mankind give you plastic in your food to kill you off. Preserve your life.
But you know what's wonderful as well, though, Bless, is that the fact that is it the calabash? Yeah, isn't that, you know, anything that like anything that the Creator has made for us to hold materials together is a good thing, and we should kind of try and mimic nature in carrying juice and the kind of utensils we use for our food. Brother Bless has left me at the moment, and I'm sure I will grow from this. But this was a subject that it's got so many elements to it that I couldn't cover it in one go. But I just thought we would just do a little taster on this one, and I want to go back and play one of my favourite tunes at the moment, which is Turbulence. So I'm going to big up Turbulence one more time. I've bigged them up a couple of times, but I really have a very special affinity with this tune.
Right. And my final word is, bless everything that you eat and everything that you drink. Bless.
Bless the Most High. Amen. So this is Sista Moorino and Brother Bless in the house. It's short and sharp and sweet. I hope you enjoy. Any comments, put them in the comments box for us. Many thanks.
Yeah, man, I say I'm a friend because recently we just find out and I know the meaning. You want to mind me, man? Burn them out, man. You know, that turbulence stuff you which are representing, you see. Rastafari go on the earth. Listen. Of course, I would like a pretty house on the hill. Nice car and some nice pretty rim. Gold chain and some diamond ring. But if it become, it will come. But until then, we now both be bling bling. Keep the vibe natural and while looking love within. No matter the pressure, me still a hold the discipline. While looking, because we not sell out, not sell out, not sell out. No matter the drought, bingy not sell out, not sell out. But I just come out.
Big up Ozzy down there in Halsey Road. Bless up Ozzy.
Bingy not sell out, not sell out. But I just come out, cause we not sell out. Them a tap and them a dogs, yeah. Say that them a shatter when you check it, them a go. No stop shed the innocent blood, yeah. Them no stop no proper, some a come up with the plug. Them a be wash away, just like the flood. No for both for Nike, no for both for lungs. Say that them a hit this when the whole of them a bug. The whole of them a feel cause them nah no love. Nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell out. And when this nah sell out, food for the mouth when I sell. What me say when I do? Yo 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 yo. Listen me nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell out. No matter the drought, jumbo nah sell out, nah sell out. Turbulence nah sell out. Keep on surviving, what me say? Keep on striving, what me say? Keep on rising. Come on, you do up like a mystery Babylon colliding. Nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell out. No matter the drought, where we nah sell out, nah sell out, nah sell. Babylon just come out. Nah sell out. Rastafari lives in the rain, say. Listen, of course I would like a pretty house on the hill. Nice girl with some nice pretty ring. Gold chain and some diamond rings. But if it become, it will go. But until then, man a go looking. Vibe natural and just hold the discipline. Prince of it now about bling bling. Let's keep the love within. I sing, we not sell out, not sell out, not sell out. No matter the clout, jumbo not sell out, not sell out, not sell out. I just try to tell them again, we not sell out, not sell out.
Boy, my father say yes, 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 yes. My father say yes, show love unto all of my children. Oh, oh yes, my father say, my father say, my father say yes, 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 my children. Oh yeah, show love unto children. love my children. Oh, my father say, my father say, my father say, yes, unto my children. Love no other one but me. Love no other one but me. We can't walk in this anymore. Pure innocent blood I see pouring. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Why is the poor man suffering? Oh, I say stop life train. I want to get on. This world is too crazy for me. Oh, my father say, my father say, my father say, yes, 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 my children. Love no other one.
No cigarette smoking in my room. Yeah. I still want Marley. Best FM radio play good.
This is called the cancer bush. Oh, I've heard of this. The cancer bush.
It is from nature that diseases arise, and from nature comes the cure. Dr. Paracelsus. Cancer bush, the hidden herb that supports and treats cancer patients, is brought to you by Mother Nature's traditional herbal remedies. Cancer bush is the miracle herb and can also treat these following conditions: cancer, chronic fatigue, depression, diabetes type 2, piles, hot flushes, gonorrhea, syphilis, hemorrhoids, chlamydia, rheumatoid arthritis, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, mental stress, lupus influenza, swine flu, and more. To find out more, and if you or a loved one are suffering from the following conditions, please head over to our website on www.cancerbush.org.uk. If you'd like to email us, please email at info@cancerbush.org.uk. You can also call us on 0208 993 4870. That's 0208 993 4870 or 07943 144 544.